Jared here with carbuzz.com, and I'm here with the new $170,000 Range Rover. Here's everything you need to know about it. For the 2022 model year, you can get the Range Rover in something called the First Edition trim level. It costs $164,000, and you'll be able to recognize it from the outside via this gorgeous matte gold paint. A lot of luxury vehicles these days have huge wheels, 20 or even 21 inches big, but the Range Rovers are even bigger. These are 23-inch wheels, the largest I've ever driven on a car. You can see that the Range Rover's door handles are flush with the body. Now you can program the door handles to pop open automatically when you walk up close with the key, or with the key in your pocket, you can do it manually by holding down this button right here to pop open the door handles. Now you can just grab it and open the door. You also don't need to slam these doors shut. Since they are soft close, you just bring it to a close and it'll do the rest. This Range Rover has rear wheel steering, meaning that it can get around a circle in just 34 feet. It's the most maneuverable Range Rover ever. These may look like actual buttons here on the steering wheel, but they actually change. So if I push this right here, you can see that the lights actually switch from what they were before to a directional pad. Now I can change what shows up on my 13.7-inch touchscreen. So for example, I can come over here to display layout, and if instead of dials I want to have a full map, I can change it. So now the entire gauge cluster is a map display. When you hold the Range Rover steering wheel, you can feel how expensive this car is. The leather is super soft, and all of this metal on the paddle shifters and on the wheel itself is real. You can tell because it's cold to the touch. You can actually get this Range Rover as a 3-row vehicle for the first time ever. If you put kids in the 3rd row, it might be a little bit difficult to see out of the window. So just flick this switch and the mirror becomes a camera. The Range Rover actually has 2 glove boxes. If you hit this arrow pointing down, the lower glove box is going to drop down. If you hit this upper button, the upper glove box is going to unlock. Just grab it with your hand, and now you can see we have a ton of space in there. And if I let it go, it'll close automatically. This 13.1-inch touchscreen is the largest you've ever been able to get in a Range Rover, and it has some awesome features. One of my favorite features are the cameras. As you drive along, the vehicle actually becomes invisible, so you can see the mark lines of wherever you're trying to park. You can also change the camera angles on the screen here by touching different zones of the car. You can have a close-up outward camera, or you can actually have a 3D view of the car that is created by the cameras. This is one of the best camera systems I've ever used in a car. And let's just say you're off-roading and the cameras get muddy, just push this button and it'll actually spray them to keep them clean. The Range Rover has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it also has built-in Alexa integration. This is a feature I really haven't seen in any other cars. If you click vehicle dimensions, it'll actually show you how big in terms of height, length, and width your exact car is. Now, of course, we live in America, so let's go ahead and get rid of that metric nonsense. It'll even show you your approach, breakover, and departure angles for off-roading. The Range Rover has an air quality filter. You just push this button and it'll actually tell you the quality of air that you're breathing, and it'll even filter out particulates to make the air cleaner in here. The Range Rover has 3D navigation, meaning that the navigation screen actually looks like the real Earth. The Range Rover has a Meridian signature sound system with 1600 watts. It has 2D and 3D audio functions for surround sound and 35 speakers hidden throughout the cabin. I can't even find them all. Need to keep your drinks cold? The Range Rover has a built-in refrigerator. It may not look like it, but the Range Rover actually has a ton of storage here in the center console. You just have to find it because it's hidden. You have this gorgeous wood trim blocking it. If I just slide this open, now I have my little storage area that actually doubles as a wireless charger and a USB-C port in there. Now, if I open up this area, I'm gonna have my cup holders, but if I need even more storage, I can actually move the cup holders out of the way. Now I have another little storage area with a USB and a USB-C port. The Range Rover has a drive mode selector called the terrain response system. Right now it's in its auto setting, but if I click it, it's going to rise up, and now I can adjust the different settings by turning the wheel. I have eco, normal, comfort, and sport, And then over here to my right, I have more off-road settings like grass, mud, and ruts, and it's going to let me know that I have low traction, sand, rock crawl, wade for water, and a configurable mode. The climate control dials in the Range Rover serve a variety of functions. If you just twist them to the left or the right, it changes the temperature. If I push it inwards, now it controls the heated and ventilated seats. Now, if I pull it outwards, now it's going to adjust the fan speed. The Range Rover has some of the best massage seats you're gonna get in a car. Just push that button, move over here to massage on the screen, and turn it on. There are a ton of different massage modes. You have 5 different modes, including wave, pulse, pulse duo, combination, and hot stones. You can even change the direction that the massage is going to go and the intensity. The Range Rover actually has armrests that you can deploy on the front seats. Just use these little adjusters to adjust how high you want it to be set. I know you can't feel how comfortable the seat is from the video, but let me just tell you, the Range Rover seats are among the most comfortable I've ever reviewed. These are actually near aniline leather, meaning that it is one of the highest quality leathers you're gonna get in a car. Aside from the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, I have not been in an SUV with better leather than this. As you'd expect from a car of this price, the Range Rover has a massive glass roof to let in a ton of light. Combine that with these huge windows on the front and the side, and this is one of the airiest cabins I've ever sat in. Passengers here in the rear seat will enjoy these touchscreen entertainment systems. You can even plug in various HDMI devices. Now you might be wondering, where do you plug those in? The answer is actually here in the center armrest, but you don't just grab it and fold it down like a normal car. You click this button right here, and the armrest actually folds down via power. How cool but unnecessary is that? Now that the armrest is down, I can open up this little storage area. You can see that you actually have a vanity mirror that's removable. And if I lift up that cover, now you have a little storage area with USB-C ports and your HDMI ports. The center armrest even has its own touchscreen. Right now, it's just showing me the time and date and the current weather, but if I slide it open, it's going to reveal a lot more that I can do with it. For example, I can open or close the sunroof, just drag this little slider and the sunroof will open to that exact point. I can control the lighting in the car to whatever color I want, adjust the climate control, and if I click this little cup button, it's going to slide out electronically. Again, this is so over the top, but kind of cool, to reveal my rear cup holders. I've also got shades here on the windows. Just close the window like you would normally and the shade will close. Now I don't have to look at the peasants. Up here I have a light that will shine down so that I can read a book, and I can actually decide whether I want high intensity, low intensity, or a warm or a cool color. I can control my heated and ventilated seats here on these little dials just like I can up front. I can also adjust the seats here on the door just like I would the front seats. Or the coolest way that you can do it is here on the touchscreen. So I can adjust the seat heat, I can adjust my seat massage, and I can also play around with this car's coolest feature. This is the Range Rover's piece de resistance feature. If I push recline while I'm in this rear passenger seat, the front seat is going to slide forward as far as it will go to give me maximum legroom. As it's doing that, this piece down here is going to drop down to give me a place to rest my feet. You can see that it's carpeted so I don't scuff up all of that expensive leather. And then an ottoman is going to deploy so that I can put my feet all the way up. I can further adjust it and raise it up, so now I can recline with my feet up while my driver takes me where I need to go. Step on it, Jeeves! If you need to put something long in the Range Rover, just push this button that says ski hatch, and this little area is going to unlock. Then you can just drop it down and stick your item through the back seat. The Range Rover actually has some really cool features here in the trunk. For example, when you just open up the latch, you'll see that only the top portion of the tailgate opens. If you want to open up this bottom portion, just click this button and it'll drop down. You can now use that to sit on, which is a nice handy feature. You can also put it back up so that your items won't roll out while the tailgate is open. Or if you want them to both close at the same time, if this is dropped down, if you simply push this button up here, now both of them will close and latch at the same time. Alternatively, you can also open up the Range Rover's tailgate with your foot. Just put your foot somewhere in this general area on either side, and both pieces of the tailgate will open. For the first time ever, you can get the Range Rover with a third row, but the version we have is simply a 2-row. I've already showed you the amazing rear seats, but something that's really rare on a vehicle with seats like that are that these actually fold. Just hit these 2 buttons right here. The seats will adjust the headrest and all things to make sure that they can go down properly, and they will automatically go down. Now you'll see as they get all the way down that they don't quite fold all the way flat, but this is still really cool that you can fold seats that have that level of adjustment. And of course, you don't have to do any manual labor to get them back up. Just pull those 2 triggers the other way and the seats will fold back automatically. You can see that there's plenty of storage space inside of the Range Rover, but if you have small items, you have a few options for keeping them held tight. For example, you have this cargo net here that'll keep things tightly to the floor. You also have these fold out grocery hooks so your bags won't roll around. There's another storage area here with a little cargo net, a strap right here for a wine bottle or a carton of milk, and one of my favorite features, the trunk divider. Just flip that up and now your trunk is divided into 2 areas, and it does a little bit more than that. You have these little adjustable sliders, so if I slide this one all the way and slide this one all the way, now I have another strap with which to put items. So if I put something right here, it won't roll around. So the trunk divider is pretty cool, but it actually serves a dual purpose. If you just push these 2 red tabs, you can go ahead and lower this down, and now there is a second little tab that if I pull on, it's going to unlock a hidden storage area. Now within this hidden storage area, I have these weird leather pads. Now they serve a function called the event seating area. I simply lay these pads down here, grab these 2 little ones, and then I go ahead and shut this back closed, and then I go ahead and close the divider area, lift it the other way, and now it's going to form a backrest. I then take these little pads, stick them right here, and now I can sit down comfortably on my Range Rover's tailgate. Not only can I lounge comfortably on my Range Rover's tailgate, but you also have the tailgate event suite. So while I'm sitting back here, you can push a button on the touchscreen or use the app to control these speakers back here. You also have a little light back here. So I can chill, have a tailgate, and listen to some tunes. Another cool feature back here is that the windshield wiper is nowhere to be found. It's actually hidden here under the spoiler. Unlike the last Range Rover, this new one actually uses a twin turbocharged V8 engine that's borrowed from BMW. It produces 523 horsepower, meaning you can go from 0 to 60 in just 4.4 seconds. Ready? Launch active. Whoa! It goes quick! Thank you, BMW Power. The Range Rover starts at about $104,000. This first edition model that I've showed you is about $170,000. And trust me, it's worth that price. The comfort in here is incredible. This car is so quiet and the air suspension is so comfortable. This is a true luxury experience. At night, you can control the Range Rover's ambient lighting. There are a ton of different settings. Right now, I have it set to sunset orange, but you can also go for dynamic red, which is a really cool color. You have ocean blue, also a really nice color. You have the classic lighting, which is kind of just like a plain color. You have ultraviolet, really cool, forest green, and then you have my color. Now this is the most interesting function. You can go over here to click to customize, and now you can choose the accent color from any inside of this click wheel, and you can see that the colors actually change in real time as you spin the light. How cool is that? You can also change the background color, which is going to be that lower color down there, and then you can turn on and off the passenger footwells. Most of the lighting settings also have this animate button. So if you just sit here and watch the lights, you're gonna notice that the colors will actually flip and alternate as you sit and watch them. I don't think I've ever seen lighting as advanced as the Range Rovers. You have your various task lights, which you can turn on here, and it really brightens up this back seat. This is just the low intensity. I could also turn it on high intensity to make it even brighter. And that's not all. I also have a choice between warm, which is what we have now, or cool lighting. And you can kind of see the difference between them, that the warm is a little bit more ambery and the cool is more of a white light. That is so unique. Believe it or not, the camera system will actually still work while you're driving. It'll give you a little warning to not use it over 25 miles an hour, but that doesn't actually shut it off. This is a great feature for while you're off-roading. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to be alerted of our latest videos. And if you want to read more about the Range Rover, be sure to head over to carbuzz.com. I'll see you next time.